Okay, we did the translation, Prabhu, and ask Prabhu. Or any other devotees?
May I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, read.
O revered Vaishnava Thakura, O ocean of mercy, please be merciful to me, your humble servant. Purify me by giving the shade of your lotus feet. Your feet I clasp submissively. Please help me to control the six urges. Purify me of the six faults, and please instill in your servant the six good qualities. O bestow upon me the six kinds of holy association. I am seated here in the hope of having your company. Next slide, please. Or on my own, I find I have no strength to chant the holy name of Lord Hari. Please be merciful by awarding me with a particle of faith and giving me the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is yours, therefore you are able to give him to others. This is certainly within your power. I am indeed wretched and fallen, simply running after you, crying Krishna, Krishna.
Yes, thank you. So as the song goes from initial stages to the final stages, so the verses also, in one way, he's begging Vaishnava Thakur's or the spiritual master, Prabhupada, by his mercy and strength, we can control and conquer the senses. Thereby, we go to the further stage of chanting the holy names. And that is also by his mercy, we can have the strength to chant the holy names. Calling out to the holy names. The first four verses we have seen about favorable, unfavorable things. And then three verses speaking about, two verses speaking about what we do in the association, what we should not do in the association. And the essence of association is spoken. The main crux of spiritual life is chanting holy names. That is spoken in the seventh verse. So for that, we need strength that we are begging from Vaishnava Thakur. So we can understand the great treasure of the holy name by the mercy of Vaishnavas. In fact, the holy name, the day we come in touch with Hare Krishnas, we start chanting Hare Krishna. And the day we may leave the body, we hope and pray that we chant Hare Krishna. This ultimate goal. Of course, chanting means the essence is remembering Krishna, remembrance of Krishna. When we are saying chanting the holy names means we are trying to remember in a proper service attitude, service mood, selfless service mode. So that is the ultimate expression of love of the Vrindavan Vasis and Vrindavan. That was spoken in the last three verses. The essence of chanting holy names is the selfless service. The places, the topmost place is our hierarchy is given, starting from Vrinda, Vaikuntha to Radhakund. It's only the selfless love is reinforced, is a range at the extreme level, at the topmost crescendo, at the topmost level. The selfless love of the gopis and Radharani is glorified. The selfless love in terms of places, in terms of devotees also. So that is the essence of chanting holy names, selfless love and selfless service. That is manifested in the lives of Vrindavan Vasis and especially the gopis headed by Mother Srimati Radharani. That's why every day we sing Sikshastakam. So though we are singing Sikshastakam, we are trying to sing, but it's very profound when it comes to the last verses. The selfless love of the eighth verse is if you keep on meditating on that verse, it's quite a profound and deep verse. Eighth verse, what selfless love is talking about. That is in the mood of Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is expressing, but it is the Radharani saying to other gopi, whether Krishna kicks me or he embraces me, whatever he wants to do with me, but I cannot stop loving him. That is the ultimate crescendo of love, selfless love of the devotional aspect. Yeah, we are trying to aspire at least some particle of that service attitude. So by the mercy of Vaishnavas, they award us Krishna to us. Awarding Krishna means that selfless service to Krishna. So by that mercy, we can gain that mood and that attitude. So that's why we, from on our part, we tender, we cry out the holy names. That is the mood of these verses. Profoundly spoken, realized Vaishnavas. Okay, we pause here. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So we continue our discussion on Shri Padeshamrit. I'll just share the document. So we'll recite the verses and then continue. Of course, last three verses are little complicated, but still we try to recite to purify ourselves by the wonderful composition of Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay. So last three verses we'll recite. So last three verses are speaking about places, people, or the devotees, and then combination of both. So the 9th, 10th, and 11th verse. 9th verse is speaking about places, topmost place, hierarchy. 10th is about topmost devotees, and 11th is combination of both. Okay. Please try to repeat. वैकुण्ठाजनितो वरा मधुपुरी तत्रापि रासोत्सवात्।
वैकुण्ठाजनितो वरा
मधुपरी
तत्रापि
तत्रापि रासो सदा।
वृन्दारण्यम् उदारपाणिरमणात् तत्रापि गोवर्धनः।
वृन्दारमणिरमणत तत्रापि गोवर्धना।
राधाकुण्डं विहापि गोकुलपते प्रेमामृताप्लावनात्
राधाकुण्डं विहापि
राधाकुण्डं विहापि
गोकुलपते
गोकुलपते प्रेमामृत
प्रेमामृताप्लावनात्
तुर्यादस्य विराजतो गिरितटे सेवां विवेकिनकः
हरस्य
कुर्यादस्य
विराजतो
वृजातो
गिरितटे
गृह्यते
सेवां
सेवां
विवेकिनकः
विवेकिनाकः
कर्मिभ्यः परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्तिं ययुर्ज्ञानिना
कर्मिभ्यः
परितो हरि
परित्यागः
प्रियतया
ज्ञानिना
ययुर्ज्ञानिना
तेभ्यो ज्ञानविमुक्तभक्तिपरमाः प्रेमैकनिष्ठास्ततः
तेभ्यो
तेभ्यो ज्ञानं
ज्ञानविमुक्तभक्तिपरमः
भक्ति परमः
प्रेमैकनिष्ठस्ततः
मैकान्ततः
तेभ्यस्ताः पशुपालपङ्कजदृशस्ताभ्योऽपि साराधिका
दिव्यस्ता
पशुपालपङ्कजदृशः
पङ्कजदृशा तभ्योऽपि साराधिका
श्रेष्ठा तद्वत् इयं तदीयसरसि तां नाश्रयेत् कः कृतिः
दृशा तद्वाद्यं तद्या तरासि तं न
कः
कः कृते
Last one. कृष्णस्योच्चै प्रणयवसति प्रेयसी प्रेयसीभ्योऽपि राधा
कृष्णस्योच्चै
वसति
प्रेयसी
प्रेयसीभ्योऽपि राधा
कुण्डं चास्य मुनिभिरभितस्तादृक् एव व्यवधायि
कुन्दं चास्य मुनिभिरभितस्तदेव
यत्प्रेष्टैरप्यलम् असुलभं किं पुनर्भक्तिभाजाम्
यच्चैस्तैरपि अलम्
यद्वेष्टे आलम् असुलभं किं पुनर्भक्ति भजा
तत्प्रेमेदं सकृदपि सरः स्नातुराविष्करोति
तत्प्रेमेदं सुहृद अपि परः
अपि तरः
स्नातुं
स्नतुरविस्तारोति
करोति
Okay, we'll go to the text. We just started the 11th, 10th text, but again we'll just recite and we'll go through. So 10th text is speaking about devotees, how the gradations are there in the devotees. From starting from the Goswami started from even from Karmis till the point of Radharani, the topmost devotee. Karmibhya parito hare priyataya viktim yayurjnaninas. So last time we have, okay, we'll read translation once, and then we'll go back to the text. Please read someone translation.
in the
In
Shastras.
the Shastras, it is said that of all types of one second, all types of fruitive workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of higher value of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Gyanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all advanced devotee. Where it is? Advanced devotee, because they are always totally dependent upon Krishna, the transcendental cowherd boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. Her Kund lake is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis, who then will not reside at Radha Kunda and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feeling, render loving service to the divine couple Sri Radha Govinda, who perform their Ashtakalya Lila, their eternal eightfold daily pastime. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in the universe.
Thank you. So, Goswami, starting from karmis in general, when we say karmi, you might have definitely went through Gita's concepts of karma, jnana, yoga, and bhakti. The process are mentioned, and those who follow those processes are called the same terminology: karmi, jnani, yogi, and bhakta. So definitely, and also we sometimes discuss the mentalities of these personalities and their activities. So the karma aspect of karma, starting with they are varnashram, belong to, they do all activities according to dharma, shastra, and also bound by varnashram. Starting from there, so Prabhu Goswami is comparing and giving a chronology, hierarchy of people with the topmost. So apparently it appears that the karmis are following dharma, and the last personalities, gopis and Radharani, apparently not following dharma. So in general, people have this. Even Parikshit Maharaj asked question: how is that all the gopis giving up their dharma of their husbands and going to Krishna and dancing in middle of the night? So it apparently is beyond dharma. Yeah, it's beyond mundane dharma, but it is on the spiritual platform. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam praja. So that is entirely a different platform. But people have many questions why they are not following dharma. That's where the real understanding of spirituality comes in. So we need to be very careful when people are talking about the dharma aspect. Apparently they are not following, but it is the highest dharma of the soul to be with Krishna, to render service to Krishna unconditionally. That is on the spiritual platform. So here the gradation is the ultimate dharma is to serve Krishna. That is spoken in this verse. The ultimate dharma of all dharmas is to unconditionally serve Krishna. Ceaseless, causeless and ceaseless service. Unmotivated and uninterrupted. Ahaituki apratyata. So the unmotivated means ahaituki. Apratihata means it's a continuous. There is no cessation. So causeless and ceaseless. So that service is the ultimate service. Starting from at least follow some dharma, starting from karma. At least you come to the fold of shastric regulations. So below that is also there. Below that, who is there? Can anyone say below the karma, what the people are called by term?
Karmis.
Pardon?
Karmi.
Below that, these are karmis. They are following Shastra. They are called karmis. Below that,
fruity worker.
Mudas.
pardon, Muda.
Yeah, Mudas. Yeah, uncivilized people.
Muda, foolish. But specific one more term is there. Those who are not
Demoniac.
following Shastra. Almost this term also includes.
Mayavadis.
Now this term includes in that.
Atheist.
I am saying, I am giving a clue. This term also includes in that. What is the opposite of karmi?
Vikarma.
Ah,
Vikarma.
yeah.
Vikarmi.
So vikarmi is vikarma. You definitely might have read in the Gita. Vikarma is karma, vikarma, and akarma. Third chapter of Gita speaks. Third and fifth chapter speaks about these concepts. Vikarma means no following of Shastra. Yah Shastram iti utsrujya vartate kamakarataha nasiddhim navapnoti nasukam naparam gatim. So those people are not even counted here. Vikarmis, those who are not following dharma or Shastra. But starting from karma, those who are following dharma till those who are following highest dharma is spoken in this verse. So how also we need to raise ourselves gradually, following the footsteps of the highest personalities, following in the footsteps. We also want to grow in bhakti, so that gives the higher satisfaction to oneself and also to Supreme Lord. Both are satisfied. Krishna will be pleased, and we also completely satisfied. Yaya Atma Suprasidati, Yena Atma Suprasidati. So that's the highest dharma of the living entity. Paro dharma. Adharma, dharma, and paro dharma. So these three things are there. Dharma is not at all following any Shastra. Dharma means at least you agree to some aspects of Shastra and try to follow dharma. And beyond dharma is paro dharma. In our life also we try to aspire to follow paro dharma. And also we encourage others also to come up to the point of paro dharma. But at least we encourage them to follow some kind of dharma in life. Otherwise, it's simply an animal life, which is only just suffering moment after moment, either in this life or next lives. Some may not be able to see that we are suffering in this life by following a dharma or by doing vikarma activities. But by understanding Shastra, we need to encourage them, help them to see what Narada Muni showed to Prachina Barhi. He showed a movie. He showed a running movie. What is the future? What is in future that is coming to you, my dear Prachina Barhi? Please see the movie. He showed a running movie. How all the animals that he killed in the name of sacrifice were coming and harassing him. So we may not be able to show the future movie, but we can explain a little bit based on Shastra and based on the experiential learning from the society. We can also encourage people to at least follow some kind of dharma and discourage them to not to do any kind of adharma or vikarma. So this is the main verse Rupa Goswami is saying. Yeah, that's it. Nature of pure devotion is true nature of devotion is to come to the level of causeless and ceaseless service. Total dependence on Krishna. Total dependence on Krishna. That's what the main point Prabhupada is little bit elaborated. Prabhupada gave a small purport also in the translation itself. How the gopis are transcendental and not only transcendental, they are highest because they are totally dependent upon Krishna to please him. So let's see. Prabhupada little bit explained in the about karma, fruity workers, and jnana. Jnanis means advanced knowledge of higher values of life. So higher values means here higher values means they understand the futility of the material enjoyment and the higher aspects of spiritual life, existence of the soul and the needs of the soul, and to live on the practice and live on the platform of spiritual life. That is the main aspects of jnana. This thing discriminating between matter and spirit and try to be situate on the spiritual level. So that is meant by higher values of life. What Prabhupada is speaking that pleases Krishna more than what just trying to enjoy matter. In the name of Shastra also, karma, karmis, sakama karmis, they also try to enjoy. That is called religious materialists. Materialists, they want to enjoy matter, but religiously want to enjoy matter. They are the sakama karmis. One need to advance above that aspects of trying to enjoy even religiously, because that only in the end it only gives misery. That we need to also understand. Shastra also mentions that these things ultimately end in misery only. Cycle of birth and death continues. So you all definitely heard many times these concepts. So those who are advanced in knowledge, Gyanis, Prabhupada also quotes Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. After even advancing in knowledge, some are liberated. In some are those who are liberated. One who comes to bhakti and practicing bhakti and attaining to the highest love are very rare. Here, this point is they are greater. That point is mentioned here in this verse. A rarity is also spoken in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We will see those verses. Or rarity is spoken there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The same concept, how they are greater and rare also. And then in the category of devotees, how gopis are so exalted because of their total dependence and total surrender to Krishna. All of them, Mother Radharani. So who then will not reside at Radhakunda in spiritual bodies are charged with devotional feelings. So these verses are inspiring. These verses need to give us inspiration to go ahead in our spiritual life, to practice bhakti and to attain the ultimate goal of life, Krishna Prem. So let us go through some verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita just to understand the categories or the rarity devotees mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Madhya Leela, 19th chapter. I am just opening the document. These are beautiful verses to remember and recite also. Some of the verses are very famous as well. Where this is 19th chapter is about Rupa Siksha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving Siksha to Rupa Goswami, Prayag. There he gave Rupa Siksha. It's famous as Rupa Siksha. There are around 70-80 verses. Starting from the lowest level, he takes to the highest level. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so precise in giving a philosophy and the content. So beautiful that section. I'm just sharing the document. So he starts practically from how all the living entities, the number of living entities, and in the gradations in them. Okay, let us go to behind, or I can show other document. Hmm. Okay, let us start from here. So Eita Brahmanda Bhari Ananta Jivagan 84 lakhs unite Karaya Brahman. You know, saying that in this universe there are unlimited, limitless living entities are there. All are wandering within this universe. This universe and many Brahmandas also. Not only in this universe, one universe, even many Brahmandas. Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, that comes in the last of the same series. We will see that one. But all the living entities are there. So, see, 84 lakh species. And he is giving just what is the nature of living entity here in this next 4 or 5 verses. How they are very small, 1/10,000 part of the tip of a hair. That's what the quotations from different Shastra he gave. The nature of the living entity. Because he's spoken that there are 84 lakh species, living entities are there. So Sukshmanam api aham jiva as a quotations from different scriptures. So then he says Tara madhye stavar jangam dui bhed jangame tiryak jala talachara vibhed. So the unlimited living entities can be divided into two divisions. Those who can move, stavara. Stavara means those who can't move. Jangama means moving, those who can move, and stavara, those who can't move. So these are the two divisions of living entities. And those who move can move, they are birds, aquatics, and animals. It is spoken here. Tara madhye manusya jati ati alpatar. Tara madhye mlecha plinda bauta sabar. So of all, in them also there are divisions. Mlechas, pulindas, bautas, and shabaras. They are uncultured. And many are cultured. So in the cultured people, what is the gradations again? Vedanishta madhye ardha वेदनिष्ठ मध्ये अर्धे का वेद मुखे माने वेदानी सिद्ध पापा करे धर्म नाही गणे. Among human beings, those who are followers of the Vedic principles are considered civilized. So in human beings also, those who are following of Vedic principles, Shastra, are considered civilized. Among these, almost half simply give lip service while committing all kinds of sinful activities against these principles. So some are maybe just speaking the dharma, but they are not acting on dharma. Only speaking dharma, not acting on dharma. So that is also another category. So what categorization is done. Veda nishitta papa kare, dharma nahi gane. In the civilized also those who follow dharma and those who don't follow dharma, but they are just speaking dharma. The categorization is given. Dharmachari madhye bahuta karma nishta. So those who are following dharma, following means they are speaking and also acting according to dharma. They are bauta karmanishta. There are many karmanishtas are there. Dharmachari madhye bauta karmanishta. They are perfectly following all the fruit activities. Koti karmanishta madhye eka jnani shrestha. So out of many karmanishtas, those who are perfectly following dharma, one jnani is shrestha. So karmanishtas as karma yoga, as karmis are those who are following karma. So their goal is to enjoy either in this world or in the next world by following Shastra. So out of them, those who are trying to elevate themselves beyond this material world and aspiring for some spiritual understanding beyond the matter, they are better. There may be one who is actually wise. They are called wise. Koti Gyani Madhye Hayya Eka Jana Mukta Koti Mukta Madhye Durlabha Eka Krishna Bhakta. So Koti Gnani Madhye Hayya Eka Jana Mukta. Even those who are practicing Jnana, in them also very rarely one is liberated. Eka Jana Mukta. One becomes Mukta. So out of the Koti Mukta Madhye Durlabha Eka Krishna Bhakta. So this is the rarity that is speaking here. And also we can understand by rarity means it's also greater. So Eka Krishna Bhakta out of Koti Mukta Madhye, Koti Mukta Madhye, of all those millions of those who are liberated, Krishna Bhakta is so great, so rare. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ata Eva Shanta Mukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta. This is one of the famous words. So what is the nature of, what is the substance of Krishna Bhakta? So this is mentioned here. The substance is that Nishkam, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ateva Shanta. He doesn't have any desires. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashant. But those who are aspiring for Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakali Ashant. So these are all three levels of aspirations. Bhukti is material enjoyment, as translated here also. Bhukti is material enjoyment. Mukti is liberated enjoyment, liberation from all material activities. This is also happiness, liberated happiness. This is karmi, this is jnani, and this is yogi. Siddhi means perfection in yoga performance. So those who are desiring all this, they will not be shanta, they will not be desireless. They are always ashant. They are always having so many disturbances in their heart. So Krishna Bhakta Nishkam, that is the main characteristic of Krishna Bhakta. So this is the glorification of the devotees. Muktanam api siddhanam narayana parayanaha sudurlabha prashantatma kodishvapi mahamune. Muktanam api siddhanam. So all the muktas, all the siddhas, Narayana parayana is very rare. Sudurlabha, he is very, very rare. How he is characteristic? Prashantatma, he is Prashantat. Kodishvapi mahamune. All the millions is extremely rare. He is Prashantatma, Narayana parayana. So that is the nature of devotee, that is the position of a devotee. And we are all aspiring to come to that platform. And also we treat others also based on this analysis with respect and with adoration, appreciation. How devotees are so rare, how so they are so great as well. So on that aspect, we need to appreciate and recognize, acknowledge their position, their presence. Okay, that's all. Then yeah, there then comes the main point. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhaktilata Beach. So after roaming around in the Brahmandas, millions or millions of Brahmandas, and also in one Brahmanda and millions of lives, we are roaming around different species. I was in a woman's body, I was in a dog's body, I was in mosquito's body, trying to gain some enjoyment, producing various types of miseries and enjoyments. So I was roaming around in all the species of life and in all the universes as well. But after all this, Bhagyavan, Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, one is very fortunate, gets Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. One very fortunate person gets the seed of bhakti by the mercy of Krishna and by the mercy of Guru, both combination. Prabhupada wrote a beautiful purport. Maybe you can go through later. But it's by mercy of Krishna, one gets Guru, and by mercy of Guru, one gets Krishna. So that's the point. So then the main topic, as the 9 stages of bhakti, there it starts how one should be a mali hoya kare sahi bija aropan, how one should accept the seed that are given by spiritual master, how one should take the seed and sow in the heart and start pouring water. Shravana Kirtana Jale Karaya Sechan. How one should pour water by Shravana and Kirtan. So one starts bhakti process here, starting bhakti process. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anathanivritti, Nishta. So these are all little more explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami. Based on this succinct, in 10 days, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave teachings to Rupa Goswami in Prayag. So by taking this very concentrated nectar, Rupa Goswami wrote so many books based on this understanding. And one particle is what we are reading is Upadesham, Shri Upadeshamrit. And you will be reading Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, also is based on the same concepts what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to Prabhu Goswami. So these are beautiful readings. Maybe whenever we have some time, we can go through the 19th chapter, Rupa Siksha. Not all the chapter, of course, chapter is very big, but around 85 verses are there. Rupa Siksha, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Prabhu Goswami. So then things will start gradually, how he grows and how he develops different rasas also he explains. And Shantaras, Sakyaras, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya Ras, how they manifest, what are different examples. All these are given in this Rupa Siksha. Very, very in short, he gives to Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami is expanded those verses into a beautiful understandings. So you will also read Nectar of Devotion. The nectar is awaiting you as well. The Nectar of Devotion. Okay, this is just I wanted to give a glimpse what Prabhupada is mentioning in NOI, this verse of Prabhu Goswami. The gradations of people, as a rarity of people also. The greatness and the rarity is spoken in this verse. So how these people are, okay, now Prabhupada, the purport, major part of the purport focuses on the how we were all struggling in the clutches of Maya, and everyone else is also trying to struggle against this Maya, but how we can come out. Prabhupada spoke out of his compassion, he elaborated so much on this aspect. Okay, let us go through. Definitely all these concepts you definitely might have gone through in Bhagavad Gita also, in many classes also, but we'll go through as a part of our course. Continue, Prabhuji.
Simba Prabhu, can you read?
Detailed discussion about karmis or fruity workers. At the present moment, almost everyone is engaged in kind of fruitive activity. Those who are desirous of material profits by working are called karmis or fruitive workers. All living entities within this material world come under the spell of Maya. This is described in Vivarta Purana 6.7.61. Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta Kshetra Gya Tatha Para Avidya Karma Samajnya Tritaya Shaktir Ishayate. Sages have divided the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into three categories, namely the spiritual energy, material energy, and marginal energy. The material energy is considered to be the third class energy, Tritaya Shakti. Those living beings within the jurisdiction of the material energy sometimes engage themselves like dogs and hogs in working very hard simply for sense gratification.
So here Prabhupada started giving a philosophical basis, Shastric basis, how we are the living entities. Of course, this concept is spoken in the, I think, second verse or third verse we have read. Third verse, I think. How we are, three energies are there, how we are marginal energy, we are get caught in Duratma, where Prabhupada spoke about Mahatma and Duratma, those who are caught up in the, though we are marginal energy, but when we get caught in external energy, we become Duratma. But when we are trying to utilize our free will and place ourselves, keep ourselves under the shelter of internal energy, we are trying to become or come close towards Mahatma position. So yeah, Prabhupada using here the desirous of gaining, those who are desirous of gaining material profits. So though we may not have the material profits, or we may not be able to gain the material profits, but still if we have a desire, that the desire, intense desire is there, to the degree we have that intense desire, though we may not able to get the material profits because of our previous karma, etc. But that intense desire also is very, very not destructive, very dangerous for us. That intense desire, because it will lead to another kind of material body. So that's what I just mentioned, opposite to jnana, karma, dhyana, abhutam. One may not be actualizing the results of work in terms of having them or enjoying them. When we work, we may not be able to get the material profits, even after getting material profits also in terms of facilities or whatever, in various ways. We may not be able to enjoy them many a times, just like billionaires and all, though they are earning crores of rupees per day, per hour also, but their happiness is limited. They cannot enjoy unlimitedly anything. So, though they are able to actualize the results of their work, but they are unable to experience the happiness. But they have desire. Their desire of gaining material profits means they want to enjoy. So we need to be careful also at the same time. To the degree we are desirous, also we are implicated, as Robert mentioning here. We will be implicated in that. So that's why the three kinds of energies are acting. And when we are get caught in the material energy and the jurisdiction of material energy, we will be acting in different kinds of dresses. Different dresses like a hog and dog, etc. Working for some kind of material happiness. So now Prabhupada explaining more about how karmis want to enjoy after this life. But Prabhupada explains how it is temporary based on Shastra. Is it true?
However, in this life or after executing pious activities in the next life, some karmis become strongly attracted to performing various kinds of sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas. Thus, on the strength of their pious merit, they are elevated to heavenly planets. Actually, those who perform sacrifices strictly according to Vedic injunctions are elevated to the moon and planets above the moon. As mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 9.21, Shine Punya Martyalokam Vishanti. After exhausting the results of their so-called pious activities, they again return to the earth, which is called Martyaloka, the place of death. Although such persons may be elevated to the heavenly planets by their pious activities, and although they may enjoy life there for many thousands of years, they nonetheless must return to this planet when the results of their pious activities are exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah, you read this concept in Gita also. And now in this life, though they are trying to go to the higher planets, but still they have to come back. In this life, what will happen? Continue.
This is the position of all karmis, including those who act piously and those who act impiously. On this planet, we find many businessmen, politicians, and others who are simply interested in material happiness. They attempt to earn money by all means, not considering whether such means are pious or impious. Such people are called karmis or gross materialists. Vikarmis do impious acts. Among the karmis are some vikarmis, people who act without the guidance of Vedic knowledge. Those who act on the basis of Vedic knowledge perform sacrifices for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu and to receive benedictions from him. In this way, they are elevated to higher planetary systems. Such karmis are superior to vikarmis, for they are faithful to the directions of the Vedas and are certainly dear to Krishna. In
Here
Bhagavad
Prabhupada added the below category also. Vikarmis are there behind karmis, and such karmis are superior to vikarmis. Though verse is not spoken about vikarmis, Prabhupada Swami started with karmis, karmibhyopi. But Prabhupada, knowing giving the understanding of present day context, how it is very much applicable to present day context, is giving us the understanding here about vikarmis also. At least come to the platform of dharma, because the situation is such that everywhere is dharma is. That's the nature of Kali Yuga also. We say that based on Shastra that it's the nature of Kali Yuga. We may say, but on our part we encourage, we inspire people, those who are. That's how we are also saved from all kinds of vikarma activities that I was doing and trying to headlong towards hell. We was given inspiration and encouragement to at least do some dharma, and if we can, and if I can do parodharma also. I was inspired by the teachers and devotees. That's why Prabhupada is including. At least we encourage people to come from the platform of karma to at least follow dharma. And if we can, we definitely encourage them to come to parodharma directly. Yes, Prabhu, continue.
In Bhagavad Gita 4.11, Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tataiva bhajamyaham. In whatever way one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. Krishna is so kind that he fulfills the desires of the karmis and gyanis, not to speak of the bhaktas. Although the karmis are sometimes elevated to higher planetary systems, as long as they remain attached to fruitive activities, they must accept new material bodies after death.
This is the main principle Prabhupada spoke. Ye yathamam prapadyante, Krishna is so kind. He is awarding whatever they are aspiring for. Yes. Now he speaks about the results. What will happen by doing pious and impious activities. Some other devotee wants to continue.
If one acts piously, he can attain a new body among the demigods in the higher planetary systems, or he may attain some other position in which he can enjoy a higher standard of material happiness. On the other hand, those who are engaged in impious activities are degraded and take birth as animals, trees, and plants. Thus, those fruitive actors who do not care for the Vedic direction, vikarmis, are not appreciated by learned, saintly persons. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma yad indriya pritaya apranoti na sadhu manye yata atmano yam asanna api kleshada asha dehaha. Materialists who work hard like dogs and hogs simply for sense gratification are actually mad. They simply perform all kinds of abominable activities simply for sense gratification. Materialistic activities are not at all worthy of an intelligent man, for as a result of such activities, one gets a material body which is full of misery.
Yeah. So Prabhupada, whenever it comes to karma, vikarma, so he quotes these verses from 5th canto. They are very very heavy and very profound, how to shake us and wake us up from the defeat of life. Prabhupada generally speaks how we are just being defeated by the Maya. We are defeating our human form of purpose of human life. So because we are trying to enjoy material enjoyment, though religiously also, it is also a defeat. So that's the main point Prabhupada is making here. From the verse also, he is giving a more purport to the verse, what we read just now. Continue.
The purpose of human life is to get out of the therefore miserable conditions which are concomitant with material existence. Unfortunately, fruity workers are made to earn money and acquire temporary material comforts by all means. Therefore, they risk being degraded to lower species of life. Materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy. uh, to become happy. Where it is
So you have to close, little scroll.
uh, materialists do not consider materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy in this material world. They do not stop to consider that they will live only for a certain number of years, out of which they must spend the major portion acquiring money for sense gratification. Ultimately, such activities end in death. Materialists do not consider that after giving up the body, they may become embodied as lower animals, plants, or trees. Thus, all their activities simply defeat the purpose of life. Not only are they born ignorant, but they act on the platform of ignorance, thinking that they are getting material benefits in the shape of skyscraper buildings, big cars, honorable positions, and so on. The materialists do not know that in the next life they will be degraded and that all their activities simply serve as prabhava, their defeat.
Yeah,
Parabhava, their
Parabhav. Yeah,
defeat. This is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.5. Parabhavas tavad abodha
Bhauti.
jataha.
Yeah, Parabhava. Parabhav. Hindi word also Parabhav. Tavad abodha jata means it's a defeat. So 5.5.5, and this is the next verse to what Prabhupada quoted here in full. Onam pravatta kurte vikarma. Vikarma, people are doing vikarma because of pramatta, because they are become mad. Mad for what? Indriya priti aprunoti. So Prabhupada's uh, main focus is here the same thing, that don't just try to satisfy with material enjoyment, but because it defeats the human life, purpose of human life. That's the main point here. Then next Prabhupada continues, then how not to be defeated. So at least try to raise above from karma to jnana level. That is one step ahead. Not just rotate in the cycle of birth and death continuously, either religiously or irreligiously. Even religiously also one is performing karma. He has to go cycle of birth and death continues. Sorry. So but how we can raise above? Now Prabhupada speaks about one step ahead. Continue.
One should therefore be eager to understand the science of the soul, Atma Tattva. Unless one comes to the platform of Atma Tattva, by which one understands that the soul and not the body is oneself, one remains on the platform of ignorance. Out of thousands and even millions of ignorant people who are wasting their time simply gratifying their senses, one may come to the platform of knowledge and understand higher values of life. Such a person called a Gnani. The, the Gnani knows that fruitive activities will bind him to material existence and cause him to transmigrate from one kind of body to another, as indicated in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.5 by the term Sharira bandha, bound of bodily existence. As long as one maintains any conception of sense enjoyment, his mind will be absorbed in karma, fruitive activity, and this will oblige him to transmigrate from one body to another. Thus, a gnani is considered superior to a karmi because he at least refrains from the blind activities of sense enjoyment. This is the verdict of the Supreme Personality of God.
So, so the Jnani, at least those who are becoming wise, they rise above the platform of karma. So he comes to the platform of Atma Tattva, soul, existence of the soul, trying to understand that he is separate from the matter, he is different from the matter. So out of many, many millions of ignorant people, one who is trying to understand is called wise person, is a Jnani. The Jnani, so the platform of Jnani is mainly that he knows that he's causing misery to me, but I want to rise above. So Prabhupada is making a beautiful point that as long as one maintains any conception of sense enjoyment, his mind will be absorbed in karma, fruitive activities. So we try to, we will. Also, this is also one 10th offense we speak, to maintain material attachments even after understanding the glories of the holy name. So we try our level best that we don't maintain that kind of a conception of enjoying here with matter. So our as a devotee, though our sadhana is not like Jnani sadhana also. Just like Jnani may keep on thinking, oh, I am not matter, I am not this, I am not that, I am a spirit soul, everything is spirit. Every living being is a spirit soul. So that kind of a sadhana we don't do. That may help us, but our main sadhana is, I am a servant of the Lord. That is the main sadhana. I am servant of the Lord. Everyone is a Krishna's servant. But I became averse to the service of the Lord. I am suffering here. I need to again engage myself in the service of the Lord, glorifying the Lord, remembering the Lord. These are the main sadhana for the devotee. So that aspects are we need to understand between jnana and bhakta. But definitely the platform of jnana is superior to karmi. But Shastra also and what Prabhupada is also mentioning here, because they don't want to enjoy materially. They want to rise above from matter, understand about spirit. That makes even the Supreme Lord also happy. That's what verse is saying. That also Prabhupada is saying that he is pleased more with those who are not just trying to enjoy the matter. They want to rise above from material enjoyment to some spiritual aspirations, spiritual understanding, spiritual practice. Krishna is pleased by that. So then Prabhupada goes ahead, as the verse also goes ahead, that the platform of Gyan is the best. No, he continues ahead. Some other devotee can read.
May I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please.
Does the platform of Jnani is the best? No. However, although a Jnani may be liberated from the ignorance of the karmis, unless he comes to the platform of devotional service, he is still considered to be in ignorance. Although one may be accepted as a Jnani or one advanced in knowledge, his knowledge is considered impure because he has no information of devotional service and thus neglects the direct worship of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jnani to Bhakta. When a Jnani takes to devotional service, he rapidly becomes superior to an ordinary Jnani. Such an advanced person is described as a Jnana Vimukta Bhakti Param. How a Jnani takes to devotional service is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, wherein Krishna says, बहुनां जन्मनामन्ते ज्ञात्वा मां प्रपद्यते वासुदेवं सर्वमिति स महात्मा सुदुर्लभः. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Actually, a person is wise when he surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna, but such a Mahatma, great soul, is very rare.
So one has to advance from the Gnana platform also, because that is the not the highest realization according to Shastra also, according to experience also. He may be liberated, he may be trying to liberate himself, but the platform, unless one understands and comes to the platform of bhakti, is not on the highest platform. So Prabhupada quoting the Bhagavad Gita is showing how that is the highest platform. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. So from the topmost platform, all other platforms may definitely looks down. From bhakti platform, jnana and karma, yeah, they are lower. But from the jnana platform, karma is lower. But from a karma platform point of view, at least jnana platform is better. Just like going up. But one may not stop at the platform of jnana. One has to rise above platform of jnana to become bhakta. Jnana to bhakti. So that is the safest and that is also the highest platform of bhakti. So once he comes to platform of bhakti, there are also further advancements are there. Just starting bhakti is definitely good, but there are also different gradations, different advancements are there. So that is spoken here, as the verse also goes ahead. Karmi, Jnani, Bhakta, and in the devotees also, there are different levels of devotees. That is spoken here. Continue.
Further advancement in bhakti. After taking to devotional service under the regulative principles, a person may come to the platform of spontaneous love of Godhead, following the footsteps of great devotees like Narad, Sanak, and Sanatan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then recognizes him to be superior. The devotees who have developed love of Godhead are certainly in an exalted position. Of all these devotees, the gopis are recognized as superior because they do not have they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna, nor do the gopis expect any return from Krishna. Indeed, sometimes Krishna puts them into extreme suffering by separating himself from them. Nonetheless, they cannot forget Krishna. When Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura, the gopis became most dejected and spent the rest of their lives simply crying in separation from Krishna. This means that, in one sense, they were never actually separated from Krishna. There is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with him. Rather, Vipralamba Seva, thinking of Krishna in separation, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, is far better than serving Krishna directly. Thus, all thus of all the devotees who have developed unalloyed devotional love for Krishna, the gopis are most exalted, and out of all this exalted gopis, Srimati Radharani is the highest. No one can excel the devotional service of Srimati Radharani. Indeed, even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feelings.
Yeah. This is the further advancement in terms of bhakti. That's what we are also aspiring and practicing. And it's also offered to all of us how we can grow more and more in the performance of bhakti. So in the levels of devotees, the topmost devotees are mentioned here about gopis. Though we are not trying to imitate them, but we are trying to follow in their footsteps. Though we are trying to advance, we are not aspiring to become them, but we are becoming, we are aspiring to become like them. That's what he mentions in the later verses. Prabhupada also mentions, like them means we are trying to follow in their footsteps. Yeah, but see here the beautiful points Prabhupada brought out. How, what are the reasons they are exalted gopis as superior? Because they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna. So their center point is that to please Krishna always and expect and not expect anything in return. They are not expecting anything in return from Krishna. That is the nature of pure devotion. Adhanam janam sundarim kavitamba jagadisha kamari mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktirahaitu vitvai. So that's the platform of pure devotion. And another aspect is that when Krishna puts them into extreme suffering by separating himself from them, or in this case, Prabhupada put it, the gopis example, sorry, or in any other ways also. In the case of Pandavas, in the case of Prahlad Maharaj, in the case of many other devotees, they may apparently go through extreme suffering. Krishna may put them to sufferings, but that suffering may appear to be a suffering from external point of view to non-devotees, but is only a great relishment for the pure devotees, and for the sadhakas, it's a purifying experience. So that is the advantage of in sadhana bhakti also. It's a purifying, especially the sufferings. Though we know that Krishna is only orchestrating my life, but a devotee has that conviction that last time we read that purport from the 11th canto, that though Krishna may put me so many obstacles on my path of practice, but I will never leave Krishna's service. I will never give up a devotional service. That is the nature of a devotee. That is the nature of sadhaka, bhakta. That's what also we are singing every day. That's what initial part of the discussion we mentioned. Asrishyava padaratam pinashtumam. We are unknowingly singing every day. That verse is very profound verse in meaning. That this also gives a measurement or barometer for our spiritual advancement. That last time we are discussing about what is meant by spiritual advancement. And this is also one of the major barometer to check that whatever situation is coming in my life, whether I am trying to uh, take up service to Krishna or I am trying to give up service to Krishna. Am I trying to take up favorable things for service of Krishna, or trying to remember Krishna, practice the devotional aspects, or am I trying to give up or go away from the association, go away from the practice. So this also shows, especially when there are tests, it is also shows our advancement, how much I am advancing in devotional life. So that is topmost stage where Mother Radharani herself saying in the palm of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Asrishava Padaratam Pinashtumam. Pinashtumam actually is like a making it of a paste. Pinashtu is like actually grinding. The meaning in Pinashtu. Pishta Peshta Nyaya is called one. Nyaya is there in Sanskrit. Grinding the ground. So it's like actually making a paste. Means there the translation is written like trample under the feet. That's what the translation is written in our Sikshastakam 8th verse. Whether he embraces me or makes me trample under his feet, I will not leave. I will not leave Krishna's service. So the beauty of the verse is that Radharani is not saying to Krishna directly. The verse is spoken. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke this verse, but in the mood of Radharani. There, the Mother Radharani is not addressing Krishna in that verse. Either you embrace me, or either you kill me, or you trample upon me. I will not leave your service. That is not the verse is saying. She is saying to someone else. She is saying to some other gopi that I cannot leave his service. So that's also gives a very profound insight that how much confidence, how much conviction she has in that kind of a service. That also we can see in general dealings also, in relationships also. If you are saying to someone else, your friend, hey, that friend of mine is so wonderful, so great, I love him so much that whatever he does to me, I will not leave him. If you are saying to someone else, if that person hears or directly hears or comes to know through some other else, through some other channel, that we said something like that, that gives a great joy, that gives a great confidence, that gives a great bonding in relation also, right? So these are beautiful insights to the words, that how much confidence that we need to develop in Krishna and Krishna's orchestration in our life. Whatever situations come in our life, we need to see Krishna's hand, and then we go ahead in our life with our life. If we are unable to understand what is going in our life, we need to consult superiors, thereby see how we can go ahead in our life. Situations sometimes will come in our life. Either they are Krishna's arrangement or they're because of our karma is only coming. Definitely, that's what the main understanding Siddhanta also in devotional service, that the moment we start chanting Krishna's names, the degree that we are taking shelter of Krishna, and Krishna is orchestrating our life. We are not orchestrated by laws of karma. That's what the acharyas firmly convincing arguments also. They are giving us assurance that we are under Krishna's shelter, Krishna's hands. But still, sometimes we may face many situations, just like Prabhupada's life also. Prabhupada never said that how come, these Gaudiya Vaishnava sannyasis, they are the disciples of Bhaktivedanta Thakur, they are topmost exalted sannyasis. Still, they are fighting for just some land, some money, and some kind of prestige, post, position. How they are fighting with each other. And see how I am. I am a grahastha, I am having my 5 children, and I lost business. I I had so many setbacks in my life. How can I serve my spiritual master? He never said like that. In fact, he is seeing Krishna's hand because he is trying to understand from Shastra. He was always remembering the words from Srimad Bhagavatam that when Krishna is very much pleased, he takes away all the material supports from his life. So that's what the Prabhupada's conviction practically. He took up the mission single-handedly, though there were so many obstacles in various ways. There was no encouragement at all. In fact, there was a lot of discouragement. There was a lot of criticism when he took up the mission and going to preach and brought the results also. Even after bringing the results, there was so much criticism, so much of opposition. I think last time I shared, I don't know where this forum or some other forum, Prabhupada disciples were not even accepted as disciples, as a bona fide disciples, because they were eating meat and doing all kinds of nonsense before taking devotional service. Even water was not accepted from their hands, what to speak of prasadam and the other things by the other devotees, other Vaishnava sampradayas. There was a criticism and opposition faced by Prabhupada, but Prabhupada was still so unflinching in his devotion, unflinching, undeviating in his following of spiritual master instructions. So that also shows how much he's fixed up, he's advanced, his advancement is shown that way. Whatever Krishna does, is Krishna is only orchestrating in my life. So there are beautiful verses also in Mukundamala Stotra. Maybe one I can share because we have a little less time, just to understand the feelings of devotee. Let us see the verse. The feelings of a devotee, how he feels, how he relishes uh, the Lord's devotional service. He's expressing in his terms, in his prayer to Lord. I'm just sharing that verse. It's a very beautiful verse. Let us receive. Let us recite. Please try to repeat. It's very simple words. May look big, but it's very beautiful and simple terms. Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna padambujam.
चित्तं
Chittam
नैव
Dev
निवर्तते
क्षणमपि श्रीकृष्णपादाम्बुजाम्
पादाम्बुजः
चित्तं नैव निवर्तते क्षणमपि श्रीकृष्णपादाम्बुजान्
चित्तं
चित्तं
नैव
नैव
निवर्तते
निवर्तते
वर्तते
क्षणमपि
क्षणमपि
श्रीकृष्णपादाम्बुजाम्
निन्दन्तु प्रियबान्धवा गुरुजना गृह्णन्तु मुञ्चन्तु वा
निन्दन्तु
निन्दन्तु
प्रियबान्धवा
प्रियबान्धवा
गुरुजना
गुरुजना गृह्णन्तु
गृह्णन्तु
मुञ्चताववा
मुञ्चन्तु वा
दुर्वादं परिघोषयन्तु मनुजा वंशे कलङ्कोऽस्तु वा
Durvadam
पादं
दुर्वादं परिघोषयन्तु
परिघोषयतु
मनुजः
मनुष्य
वंशे
मांसे
कलङ्कोऽस्तु वा
कलन्तोऽस्तु वा
तादृक्प्रेमधरानुरागमधुना मत्तायमानं तु मे
Tat
तादृक्प्रेमभरराग
नेतृत्वप्रेमधरानुरागुणा
अधुना
मधुना
मधुना मत्तवा
मत्ताय
मानन्तु मे
me
मत्तायमानं तु मे. Yeah, thank you. So chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi, even one moment also my mind and my heart, my consciousness will not divert, deviate, distract from Sri Krishna Padambuja, from the lotus feet of Lord. When it will not deviate, Nindantu, even when I am criticized, by whom? Priya Bandhava, all my relatives who are very dear to me, let them criticize me, let them blaspheme me. My Priya Bandhavas, by my Priya Bandhavas, and who else? Gurujana, by Gurujanas also, by superiors. Grunantu munchantuva, let them Grunantu, let them accept. Grunantu means let them accept me or let them reject me. But I cannot leave thinking of Krishna. I cannot leave remembering Krishna. Even one moment also. What else? Durvadam parigoshayantu manuja vamshe kalankostuva. Let all the manujas, all the normal people, ordinary people also, Durvadam, blaspheme or rumors, let them gossip about me, let them spread my ill names or gossips about me. Parigoshayantu, let them gosha, let them do dandora. And I think there is a dandora word is also there in Hindi. Dandora means you keep on. In olden days,
Dindora, Prabhuji.
uh,
It's Dindora. Not
Dindora. Dindora
no.
in Telugu is Dandora. Yeah, Dindora was used in olden days in kingdoms they used to do that Dindora. Means you go around, keep on shouting with a musical instrument. Durvadam parigoshayantu. Manuja vamshe kalankostuva. What else? Vamshe kalankostuva. Uh, uh, let my vamsha, whole vamsha kalanka. Kalanka means what exactly? Kalanka is a dirty spot. Yeah, Kalanka is spots on my vamsha, whatever may happen. But because I'm tasting the nectar, tadruk prema dharanuraga madhuna, because I'm tasting the prema nectar of service to Krishna's lotus feet, because in that madhuna, in that nectar, mattaya manam tume, I am just absorbed, I am just drowned in that nectar. Because of that, let my consciousness, my mind, and my remembrance let it not be deviated, and I will not deviate also. That is also a conviction is saying. The conviction is saying that I will not deviate even for one moment from the lotus feet of the Lord, being tasting the nectar of Krishna service, remembrance of Krishna, whatever may happen. Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana grunantu munchantuva Darvadam parigoshayantu majavam srikalankostuva. So even after that, I will not leave Krishna service. That's a beautiful realization and conviction, and releasing Krishna's special service. Whatever may happen, I will not leave the devotional aspects. So there are some beautiful, one more small verse was there. Tajantu bandhava sarve nindantu ojana tapi paramanamdo govindo mama jivanam. In Kulsekar only saying that one verse, where else is there? Okay, but these are some beautiful internal realizations of devotees that they are trying to relish. And even whatever may happen, that I try to serve Krishna. That's the theme that Prabhupada is expressing. That is the nature of the exalted devotees. Not only exalted devotees, that is also sadhaka level. That's what last time we read the purport, small purport. That is also a sadhaka. That determination is there with sadhaka. Though he is unable to keep up to the standard, but still he is convinced inside. He is determined inside to do devotional service. So similar verse, Prabhupada Swami writes, this is also very beautiful composition. I just read the verse, I can read the translation. Verichayamaidandam deenabandodayam va gatirihana bhavatta kajidanyamamasti nipatatu shatakotir nirbharam va navam bha tadapi kila payoda stuyate chatakena. So I think the document is just saving. Just wait for one moment. So this is also beautiful verse where Rupa Goswami composed this beautiful verse, quoted by Prabhupada in his commentary on second canto, one of the verses. Virichaya Maidandam Dinabandho Dayamba. Virichaya means let the Lord, O Lord of the poor, do what you like with me. Give me either mercy or punishment. Dandam means punishment. Dinabandho, addressing the Lord. Dayam, either you show mercy, O Dinabandhu, O Lord of the poor. Either you show mercy, daya, or punishment, dandam. So Virachaya means you let you orchestrate in my life, either daya or punishment, whatever. But what is your why? Then in spite of these two, what is your goal? Gatirihana bhavatta kachidanya mamasti. My gati is none other than you, my dear Lord. Gatirihana bhavattaha. There is no goal other than you. Kachidanya mamasti. There is no other goal except you. Nipatatu shatakotir nirbharam va navamba. Either it's not nirmalam, it's nirbharam. That nipatatu shatakoti. Let shatakoti, let there be millions of let there be millions. Shatakoti. What shatakoti? Nirbharam, the thunderbolts. Let there be thunderbolts. Shatakoti thunderbolts. Millions of thunderbolts on me. Let them fall. Nipatatu means fall. Shatakoti nirbharam. Let there be thousands of thunderbolts fall on me. Or Navambaha. Let there be clouds, beautiful newborn, new clouds form. Tadapi kilapayoda stuyate chatakena. Here is giving one example. Stuyate chatakena. Chataka bird. The chataka birds keep on looking up towards sky, or it sings. It sings stuyate. The chataka birds keep on singing. The Chataka birds always sing or always look up to the sky, though the sky is showering sometimes hundreds of thunderbolts, or sometimes it may have very fresh clouds which are showering nectar in terms of rain. because Chataka birds only drink from the rain. It is said that Chataka bird doesn't look at all any kinds of water bodies on the earth, though it may be the Ganges, though it may be very pure and crystalline, but it never drinks water from the earth. It only drinks from the rain waters that is coming from fresh clouds. So when it rains, sometimes thunderbolts also fall. So that's what the determination of Jataka body is, that let there be hundreds of thunderbolts or let there be a beautiful Neptunian rain. But I always look up to you, my dear lords. So that's the meaning of the verse. That is saying that Gatirihana Bhavata, I don't have anyone to look up to, O Dina Bandhu, or Lord of the Poor. Though you may give me punishment sometimes, dandam, because of my own activities, offenses, or simple activities, or sometimes you may show mercy on me. I don't have anyone else to look up to. So this is the conviction of a devotee who is even who is trying to practice devotional service. So we are trying to come to at least that level, fixing up Krishna service, fixed up in Krishna service, on his mercy, and on his compassion, and on his protection, and on his maintenance. As we discussed, these are also aspects of Sharanagati, 6 limbs of Sharanagati, that also we discussed sometimes back. That Krishna will maintain me and Krishna will protect me always. So these things we need to exercise, we need to practice these principles to grow in our devotional service. So as Prabhupada mentioning here, that no one can excel the devotional service of Srimati Radharani in the devotional service. Definitely that is true. But what Radharani feels herself, let us see from Prabhupada's some of the quotes here. Someone can read these statements from Prabhupada purport and one lecture.
Yes, Parvesh, I read.
Yeah, please.
A pure devotee always thinks himself more deficient than everyone else. If a devotee approaches Srimati Radharani to offer some service to Krishna, even Srimati Radharani thinks that devotee is greater than her. She.
Yeah. So this is the principle Prabhupada spoke first. A pure devotee always thinks himself more deficient than anyone else. Though she is such a great devotee and the topmost devotee, and Prabhupada made a statement, no one can excel in devotional service than Srimati Radharani. But what her feeling, her thinking is that if any devotee approaches Radharani and offers some service to Krishna, and she thinks that this devotee is greater than her. That's what Prabhupada is mentioning in a purport in 7th canto. Yes, continue. Hare Krishna.
In the material spiritual world, if somebody is greater in service, other they appreciate how great he is, how he has advanced in Krishna's service. We cannot do it. The Radharani is well. Why Radharani is worshipped by the deities? Her spirit is like that. If anyone finds a nice devotee of Krishna, she immediately recommends to Lord Krishna, how nice this devotee. He can render better service than me. Please accept him. Very.
Yeah. So he's quoting in a class in Mombasa, 71. So what is her mood? So the principle again is spoken, how great he is, how he has advanced in Krishna service. So that's why naturally a devotee should think like that, how others are so wonderful, how they are advancing in devotional service. That's the nature of topmost devotee, Radharani also. So she recommends, she says also to Krishna that he's better than me. That's the advancement. Also, last time also we thought about what is meant by spiritual advancement, which is also shared. How a devotee thinks himself or herself is very low, but others are great. That's a natural advancement. That is a sign of actual advancement. Opposite is neophyte thinks always I am great. That is the paradox. A neophyte thinks that I am great. Advanced devotee thinks that I am very small. So these are the some insights to what Prabhupada is sharing about how exalted they are, devotees, and how gopis are exalted in them, and in them also Srimati Radharani and her feelings. Yeah. Yes. Prabhu, continue the conclusion and the last part of the purport.
Conclusion. In this way, Srila Rupa Goswami gradually concludes that Srimati Radharani is the most exalted deity of Krishna and her Kunda lake. Sri Radhakunda is the most exalted place. In his Shastri. Yeah. Yeah. Read it.
Yeah, continue.
This is verified by a verse from Padma Puran as quoted in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Uttarakanda 45 and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yata Radha Priya Vishnu's Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata Sarva Gopishu Saivika Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. Just as Srimati Radharani is superior to dear to the Supreme Lord Krishna, Vishnu, so her birthing place Radhakunda is equally dear to Krishna. Among all the gopis, she alone stands supreme as the Lord's most beloved. Therefore, everyone interested in the Krishna consciousness should take ultimately shelter of Radhakunda and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. This is the conclusion of Rupa Goswami in the 10th verse of Upadesha.
So Prabhupada concluding here that how she is exalted, Radharani, and also her lake. Radhakunda is most exalted both. And he is giving a proof for that from Padam Puran, which verse comes, Yatha Radha Priya Vishnus, Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata, Sarva Gopishu Sa Eva Eka, Vishnu Ratyanta Vallabha. So this is from Padam Puran. Generally people ask about Radharani and Harkund, where all these, whether they are there in Upanishads or and Shastras or Puranas, they are definitely there. They are bona fide, they're all bona fide. Vrindavan, Radharani, and Radhakund, everything. So this is one of the famous verses of Padma Puran. How directly the mentions of Radha, Radhakund, and of the gopis, all the devotees of the Lord, Vishnu Ratyanta Vallabha. So this is the one of the beautiful verse to mention about Radhakund and Radharani. And Prabhupada is concluding natural way the glorification of the verse that Radhakund we need to take shelter. Of course, the mood last time also we have seen that we need to take shelter in terms of principle also. May not be directly going there, Radhakund taking shelter. Also in terms of trying to follow the principles that are given by Spiritual Master and Prabhupada. The very place, the very definition we have seen. What is Vrindavan? What is Mathura? So that we have seen. So in that way, we are definitely can directly render service to Spiritual Master is also service to Radhakund and Radharani. We go in the Parampara system. Okay, that concludes the 10th verse where the categorization or the gradations or the hierarchy of devotees are explained from starting from karmis. Also by Prabhupada, vikarmis, starting from vikarmis till the level of the gopis and exalted gopis, Srimati Radharani. And also it shows how from dharmic level to parodharma level. So we also try to endeavor to go up and up towards parodharma by practicing the path of bhakti and having conviction inside whatever may happen in life. We stick to the process of bhakti yoga. We are determined to continue ahead in our practice of bhakti yoga. So that's the main point of the verse and purport. Text 11. Okay. Please try to recite. This is also a little. Of course, we recited first. Okay, we'll continue ahead with the translation. I'll just recite. Krishnasyochai pranayavasati preyasibhyopi radha kundam chasya munibir apitas tadrugeva vyavadhayi yat preshtairapi alam asulabham kim punarbhakti bhajam tat premedam sakrudapi saraha snatur avishkaroti. Yes, some other devotee can read translation.
Of the many objects of favor, delight, and of all lovable damsel of Vrajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine Kunda is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained even by great devotee. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotee to attain if one simply bathes once within those holy waters. One's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused.
Thank you. So in this verse, as Rupa Goswami continuing the theme of the topmost exalted places and people in the last two verses, and he combined in this those two. The Radharani is the most treasured object of Krishna's love, and her Kund is the exalted Kund, and is very rarely attained by the great devotees, what to speak of normal devotees. It's a glorification of Radha Kund itself again, and the glory in terms of result is given, that glory in terms of result, that once, even simply once takes bath once within these holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. The bathing aspects is spoken here in this verse, in the holy waters of Radha Kund. Then Prabhupada, of course, we to understand the philosophically, also in terms of glorifying a particular spiritual dham. The glory of dham definitely is there because it's connected to Supreme Lord, and very many pastimes are being taken place in dhams, various dhams. So that's why it's very glorious and it has a lot of potency. That's why it's one of the 5 potent ways of bhakti. We will read in Nectar of Devotion. You will come to 5 potent ways. Definitely might have heard. The 64 last 5 aspects are 64 limbs, 5 potent ways. One is living in dham, at least for some time, going and visiting and taking inspiration. So dham special effect is there too in our on our bhakti aspects. We are inspired. We are given special mercy in dham, so that we continue ahead, taking a small doses, extra doses, to raise ourselves from wherever we are, so that we practice on a higher platform. Means basically we are trying to give up the lower platforms or attachments to this world and trying to raise ourselves to the attachment to Krishna and his paraphernalia, to his devotees, to his holy places, thereby coming closer towards our natural position of a spirit soul trying to render services in a pleasing mood. So these are all aspects will help us to quicken, to swiftly progress in devotional service. So this was yeah, definitely how it's possible to, just by taking one-time bath, we can there may be an potency of bhakti. Definitely, bhakti is glorified many times in a very exalted manner. It may appear to be exaggerated sometimes. That's the also one kind of offense to think that is a 6th or 7th offense we read every day, to be as an imagination, to think the glories of the holy name is an exaggeration, is also an offense. So it's not an imagination also, the glories of the holy name or the glories of the devotees, glories of dham. They are not at all imagination or exaggeration. That we need to be careful about. So this is also many pastimes we can see that just by coming in touch with the devotee or taking bath in, just like Narottam Das Thakur took one time bath in Padma River, he became mad after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invested his prema in the Padma River, and Narottam Das Thakur taking one time bath He became fully mad by Krishna's love. And many times also we hear taking one mantra, Eka Krishna Namakare Sarva Nardhanash. Just by chanting one time holy name, we are delivered. Not only chanting, just by hearing the holy name. What to speak of chanting? Even one hears the holy name, one is delivered. Yannama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmalaha Tasya Tirthapadah Kim Vada Sanama Shushate. Yannama Shruti Matrena. Just by hearing the holy name of the Lord, one is delivered. So these are glories of the holy name, glories of all the aspects of devotional service. Sometimes appears to be very kind of exaggeration, but they are not at all. So Prabhupada writes in this aspect. Maybe in the next class I will show you the Nectar of Devotion. Prabhupada writes a beautiful commentary, short understanding on this aspect. I will not be able to immediately locate it now. Right, just estimation. This is for estimation. Yeah, I found it. We'll read maybe I think 4 or 5 minutes are there. We'll just pause with this reading. How devotional service is not at all exaggeration. Prabhupada writes in NOD chapter 13. Please read through this para. Hare Krishna. Some other devotee can read.
In these statements,
Let us read. Let us read from here. Yeah.
Again, Srila Rupa Goswami has described. Prabhuji, can you remove this highlighter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, Srila Rupa Goswami has described. I remember the Lord standing by the banks of the Yamuna river, so beautiful amid the Kadamba trees, where many birds are chirping in the gardens. And these impressions are always giving me transcendental realizations of beauty and bliss. This feeling about Mathura Mandal and Vrindavan described by Rupa Goswami can actually be felt even by non-devotees. The places in the 168 square mile district of Mathura are so beautifully situated on the banks of the river Yamuna that anyone who goes there will never want to return to this material world. These statements by Rupa Goswami are factually realized descriptions of Mathura and Vrindavan. All these qualities prove that Mathura and Vrindavan are situated transcendentally. Otherwise, there would be no possibility of invoking our transcendental sentiments in these places. Such transcendental feelings are aroused immediately and without fail after one arrives in Mathura or Vrindavan. In these statements about devotional service, sometimes it may appear that the results have been overestimated, but actually there is no overestimation. Some devotees, as revealed scriptures give evidence, have had immediate results by such association, although this is not possible for all. For example, the Kumaras immediately became devotees simply by smelling the incense in the temple. Bilva Mangal Thakur simply heard about Krishna and then immediately gave up his beautiful girlfriend and started out for Mathura and Vrindavan, where he became a perfect Vaishnava. So these statements are not overestimations, nor are descriptions, even if considered overestimations.
No. One line is missed. Nor are they stories.
Okay. Nor are nor are they stories. They are actual facts, but are true for certain devotees and do not necessarily apply to all. These descriptions, even if considered overestimations, must be taken as they are in order to divert our attention from the feeling from
Fleeting.
flittering material beauty to the eternal beauty of Krishna consciousness. And for a person who is already in contact with Krishna consciousness, the described results are not unusual.
Yeah. So Prabhupada's purport is too good and too practical to understand. So he gave many exalted results by coming in touch with devotional service, especially in Vrindavan and Mathura. He quoted some verses also. When I see Krishna on the banks of the Yamuna river, so I can give up everything else. So these are all some Rupa Goswami's composition verses. Prabhupada saying these statements by Rupa Goswami are factually realized descriptions of Madhura and Vrindavan. All these qualities prove Madhura and Vrindavan are very transcendentally. Just like here also we are reading Radha Kund or Govardhan, Vrindavan. These are all definitely comes in the same theme. Otherwise, there would be no possibility of invoking transcendental sentiments in these places. As transcendental feelings are aroused immediately and without fail after one arrives in Madhura and Vrindavan. Generally, those who are very much advanced, definitely they understand the beauty and the inspiration that they receive. That's why there are so many exalted devotees. The moment they hear about Vrindavan, the moment they go to Vrindavan, they actually experience. But we may not be on the platform, but there are devotees, many exalted devotees, those who are experiencing that. So for our level, then Prabhupada made the next para that these are all not at all overestimations. Just like he gave example of Bilvangal Thakur becoming a great devotee. And the Kumaras, just by smelling the tulasi leaves of the lotus feet of the Lord, they transformed. Definitely these statements are not overestimations, nor they are stories. Both. They are not stories to make made up stories, or nor they are overestimations. But here's the main point. They are factual facts, but are true for certain devotees and do not necessarily apply to all. So we cannot expect, okay, let it be happen in my life also. We can aspire definitely, but may not happen necessarily to everyone. And we don't wait also, just like Ajamil, one name of Narayana delivered. Okay, I'll also try to take inspiration. I'll just lead my own life, material life, and one day I will chant and I will become like Ajamil. No, I will be like Gajendra, call out one day. No, the mood of the story or the essence of the story is something different. The stories are not inspiring us to give up regular practice and expect some unexpected mercy from the Lord. No, the main inspiration is that, yeah, Lord will definitely is protecting and he is maintaining his devotees. He is taking care of his devotees. So that is the main theme. So let me continue the devotion service, my regular sadhana, regular practice. Let me continue my service also. So that is the point of those special pastimes and special incidents in Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's the Prabhupada concluding the statement here that these descriptions, even if considered overestimations, must be taken as they are in order to divert our attention from fleeting material beauty to the eternal beauty of Krishna consciousness. So they need to give us inspiration to turn our attention from material things to spiritual things. Just like here we are hearing the exalted glory of Radha Kund. By understanding that we are trying to go, there is a spiritual beauty is there. So let me turn my face from all this material beauty towards the ultimate beauty, towards spiritual beauty. So that is the point of Prabhupada also here. He's giving a succinct, very beautiful principle behind all these pastimes. Let our attention be diverted by hearing all these exalted nature of bhakti and bhakti elements. Let it divert our attention from material beauty to spiritual beauty. And for a person who is already in contact with Krishna consciousness, these described results are not unusual. Yeah, not unusual. They are definitely, they can be seen also in many lives. In many lives also we can see how people are transformed by Krishna consciousness just by one look of Prabhupada, one book of Prabhupada, one prasadam drone, anything. People are transformed. There are so many stories in our Krishna consciousness also. So let us take inspiration from these statements of Prabhupada and continue our practice and expecting Asha Bandha, expecting Krishna's mercy, Krishna's protection will be there in my life. Definitely in my practice of devotion service. Okay, it's 4:30. We'll pause here for the day, and tomorrow we'll try to complete the verse, the 11th verse, and maybe we'll try to summarize also tomorrow. We may have some time to summarize the whole book. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Upadeshamrita ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai. Hare Krishna. So if you have any questions, maybe tomorrow we will try to take up. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Dandavad Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
Dandavad Pranam.